Okay, let's get into another video. This vlog is called Israel, the Fallen State. And there's so much stuff in the news, there's so much people, like the amount of stuff online. I think people in Israel actually get more hate than so-called black people. They do get a lot more hate. They're getting attacked. They're getting attacked by like everyone. They're getting attacked by white people. They're getting attacked by just everyone. Everyone's like gunning, drilling them. Now, historically, and I'm talking about through my life, whenever someone has an issue with a nation, I reach out to the people there. So this is honest truth. You can go through my Instagram DMs and I've had conversations messaging people who I don't even know, just to try and get some answers and just like, what's going on? Now, for reference, I have friends in Israel. I made a lot of friends, a lot of Israeli friends in Germany while I was working at the Nürburgring. And what I found was, it was the same situation as, say, America or England, or just like when everyone started having a problem and slagging off people in Russia, I started messaging people in Russia. Because of that, I've now got Russian trap beats. I've got Russian trap music on my phone, the phone I'm talking to now. I've got a Russian movie on my phone, one of them. In fact, I'm going to put another one on there. I've got Attraction 2017. That's my favorite movie. Like my favorite sci-fi movie is Attraction, made in Russia, because I reached out and started talking to them. There's another good Russian movie called Coma. There's another really good one called Hardcore Henry, which is old. That's like 2015 or something. I've seen it before, but I've now got it in my collection. So I've taken on their culture. Regina Spektor, I downloaded her album again last week or the week before. In fact, and I had paid for it because I really wanted her music. What's that album called? Fidelity, I think. I actually make the effort, but let's get back to Israel. I met some guys at the Nürburgring. There were the guys, when I was driving the Ferrari Pista for a whole year, just stunting in it. Like I weren't really taking it on track or something, but I was one of the people looking after the car at the company where I was working. So I was driving it around. I didn't even like it, to be honest. Then they had a Seat Leon. These are cars that they leave in Germany because it's cheaper to buy a car and leave it in Germany. The year after that, they had the AMG Black Series, but these cars cost like $500,000, and then he's trusting me with it. I'm messaging Leon, I'm like, Leon or Yasser, I'm like, bro, I want to go hotel tonight, because I'll go hotel for my food, for my evening meal, just because I like the environment, and I'll play the piano there. I'm like, oh, I'm going hotel tonight, or I'm going to drive to Bonn, just past Bonn, I'm going to go Bad Neuenahr, I'm going to, what's it called? Anyway, somewhere near Bonn, and what, can I use the whip? They're like, yeah, dude, we don't care. We don't care, it's a car. And I made really good friends with these guys, but I did also question them about stuff. I questioned them about history. We had some long conversations about Torah, especially the book of Deuteronomy. I brought that out with them. And I'm like, well, the people of the book, the real people of the book, have to have these blessings. They have to have these attributes that the children of Yasharel should have, which would be their physical strength. They're unlike anyone else. So I pointed that out to them, and I said, look at the sports world. Who's dominating in like American football? Who's dominating in basketball? Who dominates? So Africans are different to Negroes. I've said this in several videos. You know, the African Hamite, they're generally a lot thinner and skinnier and slightly darker. And look at what they do, long distance running. Well, who are the big physiqued ones doing, oh my God, look at Anthony Joshua. I think that's the boxer from the UK. You see his physique, that's us. We're different. That's the Negro. The Negro is completely different. And then I've said, well, what's another blessing? Songs of praise, musical ability. All the songs that are sang in churches around the world today, all these songs around the world came from the plantation. These songs came from struggle, but they're really big songs now and everyone sings them, but most of them don't remember where it comes from. Well, that's another attribute, because music is the highest form of praise to the Creator. I've pointed out some other things, but then I've gotten into Deuteronomy and I've gone into the curses, and I've said, well, if this book is like, if these scrolls and stuff is apparently 2,000 years old, we say that the Messiah was born and then that's when we've started our calendar. Which people have gone through these curses during this time. Genesis chapter 15 verse 13. I don't want to keep giving out all the priests. I'm done of giving out the oil, because I've been telling everyone this information. We've been handing out, we as in people who identify as Hebrew, we've been handing out this information for the past 5-6 years. We thought the world would be excited by us finding out who we are, because we've stepped away from any criminal activity, and we're 100% against it. We abhor violence, we abhor criminality, theft, deception. And like, we honestly thought everyone would be happy, like, oh my God, they found out who they are. You know, so-called black people are now seeing themselves as the Hebrews of the book, because they've been through. So Genesis 15:13, and it says we'll be in captive for 400 years. That sounds like us. And I don't care what other people say. I go by 1619 to 2019, because 2019, 2020 was when a global phenomenon happened, and a lot of us woke up and we were like, I don't know what happened. I woke up one day. Well, in honesty, I had an out-of-body experience that really freaked me out. And after this experience, that's when I started looking into biblical texts, ancient scrolls, Sumerian information, stuff on aliens. I got into Graham Hancock. I'm currently reading a book by Matthew LaCroix and Billy Carson. I'm tired of Billy Carson. I love Matthew LaCroix with my heart. He says so much truth. The book is it's called The Epic of Humanity. I was reading it along the beach yesterday. He writes like how he speaks, and he just breaks it down. Even when it comes to things I've said about the snake culture and the snake civilizations of the past, which was like ancient China, Egypt, they had the snake thing on their heads. If you go to South America, Peru, Bolivia, Chichen Itza, you're going to see the snake symbol at the summer solstice. So the snake was wisdom, culture, learning, education, love, health, everything. Think of Thoth, think of all these ancient things. And he mentions the eagle. He knows. So he's basically snitching on himself. He says, look at what the eagle civilizations have done since they've come into power. And you can see their pridefulness, because they're always promoting that. I'm going off on one, but let's go back to Israel. I explained to these people in as polite way as I could. I said, you're not the people, but not in a horrible way. Like, I didn't want to drill on them. And I think I was a little bit harsh at first with one of the guys, maybe with Ilan or Yotam or one of them. But see, I know them by name. They brought me the Torah. They're the reason why I have a Torah. Let me show you. I said I need a very, very good translation of the Torah. They brought this to me from Tel Aviv. This is from Israel. I didn't pay for this. They gave it to me. And I've even got the bag as proof. I know it's going to be a bookshop, whatever that says. I can't read modern Hebrew. I can't even read Paleo Hebrew. But I'm friends with these guys. And we have conversations. Now let's get onto the fallen state. The state of Israel, to me, looks like it's currently falling apart. Iran is not playing. They're not playing these games and going back and forth and trying to have lengthy discussions. There was a time in the past where there was an issue and it only released black hostages, and they said exactly why. Which made sense to me. Iran has just put out something else. In fact, I'll try and tie it to the end of this video. They've just said something that completely destroys every Western religion and every Westernized religion. That's another topic, so I might add that to the end of this video, just so you guys can take in what I saw yesterday. Yeah, Israel is falling. The whole world seems to be against Israel. The whole world seems to have something bad to say about them. But here's my point. Just because the government and Benjamin Netanyahu, or whatever he is doing these things, doesn't mean I should hate the people. I've said this in another video. When this happened in China during 2020, 2021, I reached out and made friends with them. I've just had stuff turn up today in a post for free because I'm friends with people in China. I'm not even paying for, I'll be honest, I'm paying between 25% and 50% for all my clothing from China right now. My sneakers are all from China. Because when I've spoken to these companies, even electronics companies, which I'm not going to mention because people in the West use them, I've emailed certain companies in China and they are attacking the West. They're like, these people, their attitude, they're prideful, they're going ham. And they're like, you know what? We know you're there, but yeah, we're gonna hook you up. X-Real AR glasses. They cost like, the first time I bought them, I spent like nearly £400. And I got it from eBay secondhand. I just wanted to have the X-Real AR glasses that badly. I'd ditched my television, I sold all my equipment when I left Germany, and just for watching movies, I put them on. It projects the television way in the distance, so it's as if you're in the back row of the cinema. Really nice to watch. But unfortunately, they got broken in Dubai. I let someone put them on and he stretched them as he's put them on. It's not his fault, he didn't know. I do use the word ignorant. Ignorant doesn't mean you're stupid, it just means you're unaware. So my friend Daniel broke them. I still love him, he's such a great guy, he's such a cool guy. He's back in Colombia now, he's moved back to Colombia. And they broke. I've contacted X-Real, but based on how I'm talking to them, and I mention other companies, I'm like, oh, I deal with this company, I deal with that company. Peak2 gave me this for free, so I can do wireless HDMI from my tablet to any screen with 0 latency. Kubilux gave me all, you know, just because of friendship, and like I promote them, and then if I need an adapter, they give it to me. I paid £90 for a brand new pair of X-Real glasses. I'm not lying. I can even pull up my bank statement. I paid £90 for a brand new, I'm looking at them now, brand new pair in the box. Why? Because I made friends with them. Israel, same thing. Just because the government might be doing something that people are against doesn't mean you should slag off the people. Most Jewish people, this is from real world experience and also for working with Jewish people in the past in London. I worked for the Isaacs in central London. That's how I was working at Tottenham Court Road back in the day, back in 2020. That's how I was working in Piccadilly back in the day. That's how I know Ali G's dad next door, because 200 Piccadilly, next door to 200 Piccadilly is Baron Menswear, Sacha Con Baron, whatever he's called. That's his dad's suit shop because it's right next to Savile Row. So I was with all these people and they took me in as family. Now let's talk about the Jewish people that I personally know. In reality, they all listen to hip hop, they all listen to trap beats, and they smoke weed. That's all they do. They're not, you see, like all the war and the government stuff and bombing and shit, they're not interested in all that stuff. Just being honest, my Jewish friends aren't interested in that. Whether they're the chosen people or not, the people themselves aren't causing a problem. They wake up, they go to work, they come home, they live their lives. And from what I'm gathered from my friends, and I've mentioned a few of their names, they don't want nothing to do with this. They don't want anything to do with this madness. Another truth, I've seen them when they've been drafted in, because they have to serve. They get forced into the army, by the way. This is why some of them have left. I've seen them firing bullets at the floor. So I've personally seen videos of them firing bullets at the floor because they don't want to shoot anyone. The youngers are better, they're better people. Just like some of the American soldiers now going against their president and saying, no, we're not going to Iran and licking what and shooting no one. And look at what's happened when America's gone to Iran. 2 planes got shot down. One of the pilots is still missing. He's obviously been captured. The helicopter's been licked down. But who started this problem? Why are you bothering people? Why do you always have to bother people? So yeah, the whole Israel thing. I don't particularly like what the government has been doing with their whole expansion regime, but we can't attack the people. Yeah, it's a fallen state. Yes, it's falling down. Yes, they're receiving multiple, not bullets, they're receiving multiple rockets. All their stuff's getting licked down, their golden dome's been destroyed. So all the stuff that we thought was like the best security or technology in the world, oh, they've got the best security. No, they haven't. Iran's licking you down, man. They're licking you down, they're shelling you down with bullets. And whose fault is that? Who started that? I didn't start that, so I can speak on it. But yeah, fuck the state. Like, who put them there? If Europeans, if white people really love Israel, pray for Israel, pray for Israel, pray for Israel, why did you send them all the way out into the desert? I'm the one who offered to give up my bedroom, and I said I'd get a bunk bed in here in the front room so that one person from Israel could come and move there and be safe. They're white people, they've got the same DNA as Europeans. I'm offering to be nice to one of them. I said to Ilan, I said, bro, or even Yotam, I said, bro, you want to come here? Come. One of them's moved to Greece. He's like, fuck this. Because the youngers are seeing the truth. One of them is in Japan. One of them was talking about possibly even moving to Germany just so he's out of the way, because Germany's cool. Germany is accepted, like Germany's cool. Despite what some people might want to say in the comments, Germany is cool. I feel more accepted in Germany than I do in the UK. That's my truth. So I'm speaking from my experience. But yeah, back to Israel. Stop cussing the people out on the internet. Why are you cussing them out? Because that's what you do to us. Why are you cussing them out on the internet? I saw a video of a woman getting beaten up in another country by other girls because she's Jewish or because she's an Israeli. What has she got to do with the bombs? She ain't dropping no blood clot bombs. That's just a normal person. Like I said, the people I know in London or knew 20 odd years ago, they're not causing no problems. I know a Jewish guy here who lives in this town and he's completely fine. Adam, big up Adam. Adam, you know Adam's cool. Adam is cool. Like, but that's what they're like when I'm around them. There was a guy called Sam Rosen I was talking to in Clubhouse ages ago, and I don't use that app anymore, but I've seen him on Instagram. I'm gonna have to add him and touch base. He cool as fuck. It's like, they're just nice. They make jokes. Jewish people consume black entertainment. I think that's what it is, why I can relate to them. Because when you watch a Hollywood movie, let's just go to the bullshit, to the Hollywood movies and stuff. When you watch Seth Rogen or Adam Sandler and all these Jewish guys, aren't they using black jokes in their comedies? Isn't that what's making them more popular? That's how the words they use, the slang they use. That fat boy in Superbad, McLovin in Superbad. Jewish people, our culture is entertaining. And they repeat words that we say, like on fleek, and they use it because they know it because it's popular and it's like endearment to each other. Yes, some of us will say, "Oh, they're teeth in our words, they're stealing our shit," but think about it. Jewish people embrace black culture, and they don't really. I've not really seen many Jewish people say horrible things about me on the internet. I've not had an argument with a Jewish person, come to think of it. I've not really had an argument. I've stated my case. And with my younger friends in Israel, when I speak to them, they were like, oh shit. When I've opened up the book, I've opened up Torah, and I've said, well, this has happened, but it hasn't happened to you, it's only happened to one group of people. And then they're like, oh, so we're actually connecting on a deeper level. But I'm like, look, I still love you. You're still welcome in. Anyone's welcome to come into the fold. Anyone's welcome to be a good person and behave and blah, 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 blah. And that's why I like them, because they don't adhere to what their government's doing. They're not interested in all that crap. So yeah, Israel is a fallen state. It's a falling state. I couldn't care if it's there or not. It's of no use to me. But let's say the place was completely flattened. I'd say to two of them, I'd say, two of you, if you really want to start a game, let's get 2 single beds in my bedroom. I'll move into this room. And honestly, and if we're good people, if we are good people, if we do care about humanity, if we do care about the greater good, we should all be doing this. But anyway, that's enough talking. I've got a garlic bread with cheese in the oven, and I love garlic bread with cheese, so I'm going to go and eat that. But yeah, just have a think. Israel is falling. Should we be laughing at the fact that it's falling? No. Like, I shouldn't have any vested emotion in that, because I didn't create the state. I didn't put people there who are now getting skin cancer after 70 years, proof that they're not originally from there. And I don't own bombs. I don't own an army. I don't own a police force. I have no power in that regard. That's Japheth, as I've said before. That's Europe has all that power, which is who went out to America and did the same thing. So that's still Japheth. Call it Europe, call it America. Same people, same thing. And America and England created this state of Israel. So it's the same people doing the same thing. They just wanted to expand somewhere else. And that's my truth. That's what I'm saying. But we can't blame the people individually. That's my point. We cannot blame them, because I get attacked online. I got attacked online so much over the past 2 years, I had to change my profile picture to green squares. That's when I came up with the name Technical, which has been a bonus because I've now got other things going on with that. It's like a new rebranding. But I didn't ask to do that. I was happy with my face on YouTube and on Facebook and whatnot. But I'm getting attacked all the time. Anyway, I hope that's something in there for you guys to just take in and consider and think about. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.
In a recent symposium broadcast across the Middle East, a senior Iranian scholar stood before cameras and said, "The true children of Israel are not those occupying Palestine. They are the scattered ones, the ones taken across seas through chains to the ends of the earth. And most of them today are black." The room went silent, not because it was blasphemy, but because it was too true. This wasn't just a casual statement. It wasn't a fringe opinion. The scholar Dr. Hassan al-Mahdi is one of Iran's top theologians, a voice the Ayatollah listens to. And according to leaked transcripts, his claim was backed by decades of internal research never meant to be seen by the West. Documents surfaced old Quranic commentaries preserved in Persian script. In them, verses about the children of Israel were cross-referenced with Afro-Asiatic tribes with descriptions that would stun any Bible scholar. Coiled hair like burnt bronze, skin like the night, chosen among the nations, driven far beyond Cush and Mizraim. But it goes deeper than skin color. According to al-Mahdi, the prophetic fingerprints of the Israelites' culture, language, liturgy, covenant customs are found not in Europe, but across the African diaspora, from the Yoruba of Nigeria to the Limba of Sierra Leone to the Igbo of southeastern Nigeria and beyond. And this isn't just in the Quran. Iran's theologians, yes, Muslim theologians, have spent years studying the Torah and the Hebrew prophets in Hebrew through non-Western eyes. And they've come to a conclusion so dangerous that even many churches fear to say it. The black descendants of slaves in the Americas may be the remnant of the ancient Israelites, the real house of Jacob. Let's pause. This is where it gets uncomfortable. Why would Iran, a Shia Muslim power, a sworn enemy of modern Israel, take time to defend the authenticity of black Israelites? Because it turns the narrative on its head. In the Western world, the black Hebrew Israelite movement is treated as a fringe group, often mocked, ignored, branded as extremist. But Iran sees something else. They don't see conspiracy theorists. They see a prophetic threat to empire. Why? Because if the people who were colonized, enslaved, silenced, are actually the heirs of the covenant, then the moral authority of Western Christianity collapses. The church loses its monopoly on biblical identity, and Zionism loses its claim to divine land rights. That's not just religious upheaval. That's geopolitical warfare. Iran understands something Western seminaries avoid: identity as power. When you disconnect a people from their divine origin, you can control them. You can rename them, re-educate them, sell them a story where their suffering is random and their God is foreign. But what if that story collapses? What if the very same black man who was told his history began with slavery discovers that his lineage goes back to Abraham, that he is not cursed but covenantal? That is the moment of awakening the devil fears most, and Iran just said it out loud.